Hello, we are Geeks Assembled, and we're back here again. And this time, we are going to be talking about Love, Honor, and Obey. And let's go to Lee Wilson, since he's modelling it there very beautifully. Our own Debbie McGee there. Look.
I'm not a magician's assistant, you know. Yeah,
Just the puff. I can't say that. I can't say that. I can't. We've got to edit that out. We've got to edit that out. We can't say that. Can't say that, Alex, on the cast.
Moving on. Anyways.
I can't say that. Susan, get God to erase that bit. I never said it.
Here we go. Here he goes.
He did. Anyway, going back to the movie.
Heal me.
I like this movie because it's very British. It's got a brilliant cast in this, and also most of the dialogue is ad-libbed in this movie.
Just like this calf.
Yeah, we just roll with it. And I was saying to Alec before we started the cast, because he didn't know about the ad-libbing. This is what this group of actors do, because it's like a group of actors who make TV shows together and movies. They made a movie before this one, and it was sort of ad-libbed. There was a TV show called Operation Good Guys, which lasted 3 TV series, comedy series. It was all ad-libbed, with most of the same actors in the TV series. But yeah, I like this. It's gangsters, it's comedy, it's bit rude.
You muted yourself.
No, the light went on myself. But bit rude, and it was. I just like the story. I just like the way it's going around every different character, and everybody's got problems, sexual problems with the gangs, and I just like it. It made me laugh. As you say, it's a bit risky, but hey ho, I like that sort of stuff.
Well, you can get cream for that problem with the gangs these days.
True. But yeah,
cream you can get.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was good to rewatch this one. Over to you, Ali.
Yeah, no, it was rather dirty, and I did wonder how Alex would respond to this film.
Yeah, I mean, I know I watch Goodfellas and Casino and all that, and they do have some sexual scenes. I mean, they had to tone it down, obviously, because in America, if there was too many, then it might.
But did you like the gimp scenes? You know, when they're wearing masks and they're dog collars, and
it's never appealed to me per se, so I can't say that.
Susan looks really disappointed now.
Again, I didn't watch. I really didn't watch The Sopranos, and I think The Sopranos did talk about that more than the Scorsese films per se. Yeah, I thought it was a little too charged with some of that, but I mean, I understand. You know, in a way, if you're in a gang, if you're in jail, if you're a soldier, you dealing with a very violent life and a very stressful life. So obviously, that might affect how much you're going to enjoy it. You don't know if you're going to, live 20 years or not. And so you may have to go for the gusto. Plus, it does help people relax if done properly. So they may, it may be an issue. But yeah, I had an issue with it in the movie. But then again, I knew that this wasn't the Scorsese or the Guy Ritchie, that it's more violent prone than sex prone, or more they edit things out so it can be more commercially successful. So I mean, but again, that's also why I did the little joke from the Fast Show where they were making fun of the gangster movies, and that skit was reminding me as I was watching this movie about how the women act, how the guys act.
Mm-hmm.
All the swearing and all that. But I mean, yeah, part of that is life in that type of environment. So And I did see, what was the name of that movie? The one with Ben Kingsley?
Oh, I don't know.
Sexy Beast.
Yeah, that was another one that I actually saw in the theaters, and there was one scene where he does relieve himself on the floor. So I mean and there was other scenes in there that I'm not going to go that are actually worse than this movie. But I didn't know that. If I had known Sexy Beast had those scenes, I would have actually left the theater for a minute or two. But I mean,
Wow.
that's a different movie, but it's a similar. Ben Kingsley plays this balls out character that does whatever he wants. So
Yeah, speaking of balls out, there was the scene in this one where they're having sex and her tits are out the window, and I thought that was hilarious. And I kind of liked all the sexiness of it, and
I must have missed
obviously, what?
I must have
I don't think her tits are out the window.
No, they went out the window.
I think that was...
There was no nudity in this film.
No.
All right, well, maybe I
I
was...
think you were just seeing what you wanted to see.
Anyway, like the thing with this movie was that it had such a really wild cast. I mean, Jude Law, and one of my faves, Johnny Lee Miller. I think that like that, and the fact that those two got up to such mischief, and they were like, they stole the cocaine from another gang. So I mean, there was plenty of drug use, and then they were talking about all doing LSD and then ending up like this, and as far as I remember, that's a different sort of situation. But I really enjoyed the dynamics between the characters and stuff like that. It was super well presented. I mean, there was obviously no writing to it because there was no writing at all, right? So anyway, that was pretty amazing that it was all ad-libbed. And I loved all the rhyming slang. That was really fun because, for me, we don't hear any of that over here. And so that's kind of it just goes to show that American English isn't as brilliant as British English. And the other thing that was really fun was that they went through all the other stuff, and then they got out the guns. And then when they got out the guns, they got out a lot of guns. And then once the guns were out, like the whole rest of the movie was about, who had the most guns. And like that one guy, she found a bullet, and then she went looking, and then she found a freaking arsenal. She found an American style arsenal, like something that you'd see in an American household. That was involved.
Can't beat a good arsenal.
Anyway, that was quite amazing. So, yeah, and the singing, the karaoke was quite hilarious. I enjoyed that too.
Notice how auto-tuned they were.
They were auto-tuned, and then they were also
heavily auto-tuned.
Yeah, and I mean, one of the things that really drew me to Alex was the fact that he used to sing karaoke, and I got to see some videos of him singing. So karaoke can be a really creative, energy kind of fun thing to do, but these guys were like, it was always sort of the prelude to a bunch of super crime. Anyway, like that was fun too.
Does Alex still do karaoke, by the way?
Not recently, no, but he was quite excellent at it, actually.
I know, it's a shame. Alex is a really good singer.
I know.
It's a shame that he doesn't...
I'm glad he's not in the room while I'm saying all this stuff because,
Oh, he's not in the room?
No, so...
we can slag him off now.
No.
Yeah, so what else? I really hate him, don't you? Oh, he's so annoying. I'm only joking, just in case he's watching this back. Um,
Anyway, yeah. So that's my take on Love, Honor, and Obey. And I did the whole thing being part of a wedding too. That was fun too. The gangsters in their pretty, you know, bridesmaids dresses. That was fun.
yeah.
Anyway,
See, now I know why it's called Love, Honor, and Obey.
back
It's
over
the
to
kinky.
you, Adlid.
It's the kinky scenes, isn't it?
Yeah.
Love, Honor, and Obey.
Yeah, Obey.
Yeah. I'm quite amazed, actually, that this is ad-libbed, because some of it must have been quite weird to ad-lib and just make up dialogue. Because some of the scenes are quite, dirty, like the gas mask and all that. So some of that must have been pretty weird to ad-lib. But in a way, I'm not
Unless you
surprised.
watched a lot of porn.
Eh?
Unless the actors had watched a lot of porn.
That's very true. Yeah, they could have watched similar porn. That is very correct. Anyway, yeah, I thought this film was very good. Actually, I thought it was funny. I was going to say before I was rudely interrupted by Susan, who always interrupts me, that in a way, I wasn't surprised when Lee did say it was ad-libbed, because it didn't. What the problem I had with the film or watching it is the plot didn't seem that important, if you get what I mean. It didn't seem the focus point. It did seem more humor-based and more scene-based. And I did notice that. But that then explains it. It was meant to be like that. That's how the film was meant to be. So it was meant to be off the cuff, them just going there, having a rough idea of what they're meant to do in this scene, where it's leading to, and just filling in the dialogue themselves. So that makes sense. And it's got a really good cast. I mean, if you're not from the UK, then there's probably faces here that you don't recognize, that me and Lee recognize, people off Benidorm, like the director. And then you've got Mo off EastEnders. And of course you got Kathy Burke, which I'm sure you already...
Absolutely fabulous.
Yeah. So it's got a really good cast. And there's a guy from the Depot who is in... he's in Not Going Out, and he's in a few other things as well. So yeah, it's a really enjoyable film. There's there's a few deaths in the film, but there's a lot of violence. There's a lot of punching and hitting and kicking. I mean, they beat up the shop owner, don't they? And I found the sex scenes the funniest, though. The sex scenes were the funniest and my favourite parts of the film, to be honest. And let's move on. Yeah, let's move on to favourite moments. Let's go to Susan and Alex first, since they're muted, like rebels that they are.
I think my favorite moments were the sex scenes and the scenes where they're talking about, like, their difficulty. The sex counselor. Yeah. The sex therapist. Yeah. That's right. That was quite.
But Kathy's character is called Kathy, isn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that's odd.
Well, these group of actors I mentioned make these movies and these TV shows use their own names.
Yeah.
Ray was called Ray. Johnny was Johnny. Jude was called Jude. Sean was called Sean.
Yeah, I found that weird.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
I didn't notice that, but now that you mention it, yes, quite interesting.
I didn't notice it until they went to till Kathy came into it, and they just called her Kathy. I thought, and then it just clicked into place. Like they just
maybe this is why, if they don't have character names, it's easier to ad lib using the real names.
Because they might slip up.
Yeah.
because if Kathy was called June and they accidentally called June Kathy,
Yeah. All
You know-
ad-libbing, yeah.
yeah, well, ad-libbing, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Oh, carry on, Susan. What was you saying about favorite moments?
Yeah. So the interesting thing was the scene where he steals the cocaine and then he's trying it out and it's brown, so it looks like heroin, but he said it's cocaine, but it looks like heroin, but he says it's cocaine. So anyway, like that was, to me, that was a really amusing little thing. Anyway, here's Alex.
Well, I like the actors and I like the karaoke. I didn't want the sex scenes, even though I understand why it was in there. I know Johnny Lee Miller is a good actor. Of course, he was in CBS as the modern version of Sherlock Holmes again, and this time with a female Watson as opposed to a typical male Watson. That's going to be ending soon on CBS, and they have another show with another actor as well that we all know, but not in this movie. So yeah, it was good acted. I guess I just didn't like the story, but then again, I have seen other British gangster movies. I know they want to do comedy here, but
Yep.
some parts of it weren't comedy. Some of it was tragedy, like when he gets shot, but I guess he survives, and you know the other issues that they have to deal with stress and all that, and the like I said, it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny how no matter what language, whether it's English, Italian, Spanish, the gangster genre always has similar elements, of course. It always has violence or, you know, somebody they get into a fight with or whatever. Some of the scenes where they were getting into verbal fights with people or verbal confrontations, I found those scarier. I didn't like the ones where they were showing that they were obviously getting tortured or damaged or dog food or any of this type of thing.
Lee loves all that.
Like it. But
Lee's
I
just
even
disappointed he didn't see much.
even I said, yeah, I'd jump out of the window too. You know, if I'm going to be on all fours and eating dog food, I'd jump
and
out
the
of the
car,
window
yeah.
as well. You know,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, again, it's the type of life. I mean, you definitely don't want to romanticize it, and
I
you
don't
know.
know. Some people are into this sort of stuff.
no, I mean, you know, it's an interesting gimmick to watch on TV or movies, but that doesn't mean
You
I
should
want to
see
do
what
it.
Lee gets up to. This is
Yeah.
tame to what Lee gets up to.
That and Lee can keep that all. Yeah, he just you can just have your home videos of that. That's fine. I'm not watching it.
I'm not on about him making. I'm not on him making home videos or having home videos of it.
That's fine. That's his own business.
He has a business with it. That's how he makes his. That explains a lot.
No. That's not how he makes his money. That's all right.
You've just said.
We're not. No. We're not. No.
Is it a cash in hand, Lee? Is it a cash in hand job?
No.
Is it a cash in hand job?
Hey, whoa, easy now, easy.
A cash in hand.
Behave yourself.
Cash in hand.
You. What are we doing? Are we doing a parody of a gangster movie now?
Anyway. Let it go, Alex. Let it go.
Yeah.
Just
No, I already have. Thank you.
Drop it, Alex.
I have. Thank you.
We're a respectable cast.
Right.
We're
Right.
We're a professional cast. You're really low on the
you got that right.
He's really low on the tone. And when you got Denise Van Outen sucking on that on the cucumber.
Yeah. Oh well.
Is it my turn now?
Lee, can I ask you something?
Yes.
What business do you run?
Here we go.
I don't run any business.
Well, Alex seems to know a lot about this business.
I said I dropped it, and I'm dropping it.
Has Has Alex been one of your paying customers, Lee?
Oh, easy now, easy, steady now. Yeah.
Has he bought one of your videos?
I knew he couldn't resist. I knew it.
Oh, he's having a suck as we speak.
Whoa. Stop being naughty boy. You.
Susan's laughing like a little school.
Stop being a naughty boy then.
Anyway, before Alex blows his top,
Anyway, back to Lee.
Is it me? Is it me go now?
let's go back to Lee. Yeah, back
Right.
to you, Lee.
Well, let's
I'm
see.
sorry about Alex. I do apologise.
That's okay. Yeah, I'll just take it in my stride. There's so many good things about this movie. I mean, I love the way Johnny Lee Miller's character, well, Johnny,
Yeah.
is bored of his normal day life and wants some action, so he wants to get involved with his friend's gang, and then he starts creating the troubles.
Yeah.
Because he wants to see more action, because he thinks that the gangland of London are just dull and just go in pubs and sing karaoke. That's a good way is where he's playing both of the gangs against each other. I love Ray Winston. He's just, whatever he does, he plays Ray Winston, and in every movie he's brilliant. Sean Pertwee is Sean, the other gangland boss. He's absolutely brilliant. If you noticed also, his sidekick, the black guy, Trevor Laird, Doctor Who connection there.
Susan's still thinking about your business.
I do like the warring between Johnny and Rhys Ifans, where they're just having a go at each other, and even if it's just silent, where they're in the same room and they're just looking at each other, you can say they're just sort of silently mouthing things to each other. They hate each other. Them sort of scenes are brilliant. But for me, it is Fat Larry, Fat Alan, poor Fat Alan. He went through it for all the movie. He got stabbed. He got blown up. He got force-fed LSD,
whipped,
made to eat dog food, and then he violently had a toilet brush shoved up his ass.
Yeah, he was my favourite character, I have to say.
And then one of the favourite lines is where the other guy shouts at him, "Out the window!" and picks up and jumps out the window. Brilliant scenes. I love it. Yeah, it's a good movie.
You know, he looks no different now, you know.
Yeah, true. I saw him a few, maybe 6 months ago on something. But I don't agree. It's not. There's no nudity. The humour with the sex therapist and the sex dolls and all like that, and the toys is coated with humour. It's not it's not vulgar. It's humour coated, not vulgar coated. You're supposed to laugh at that. I mean, also as well the scene with where they're doing the heist sort of thing, all dressed as Arabs. Never take Viagra before you go to a meeting like that. That was just that was, and they're all stood there. Yeah, that was brilliant. That. Yeah, I like this movie. And to top it all, you've got karaoke in it with a brilliant song, Avenue and Alleyways. Brilliantly done. Over to you, Alid.
Yeah, I like the karaoke bits as well because it kind of broke the film up a bit.
Yeah.
Kind of offered that different...
It sort of makes you feel more for the characters.
Yeah, it does, yeah. Yeah. But it just broke the flow up a bit. Do you know what I mean? It just added something lively sort of thing. I can see why people wouldn't like this, though. I can see why Alex does have a problem with the sex scenes, but to me, I just find them funny. because that's what it's meant to be. It's meant to be funny. It's not. It's dirty, but it's not dirty. If you get what I mean, because it's just humor. It's not like it's going full on being vulgar and being, rather disgusting. Say like something that South Park would do or something like that.
Yeah.
Where that then would do it probably vulgar and would do it probably over the top. But this is just, it's just humor. And I like that about it. Yeah. Let's go on to final say and score. Let's go with Alex and Susan first.
All right. Well, I was looking for Fat Alan, but it was a really fun movie. I'm really glad we watched it. I love British gangster movies. I love like The Limey and Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels and there's a bunch of other really great ones. And Trainspotting, of course. Let's not forget Trainspotting, okay? So there's Trainspotting mentioned. So yeah, I love it. Good movie. Let's give it a 9 out of 10. There was stuff that was, it wasn't perfect, but it was darn good. So 9 out of 10 for me.
Well, that's not bad.
Yeah, I'll have to give this an 8 only because I like the karaoke and I like the heads, the heads of the gangster organizations were pretty effective. Yeah. And I do like the actors in it. I just didn't like the story as much. But again, it's also the genre as well, and you also have to laugh at it a little bit as well. So it's too bad. I know that Netflix is going to do one big gangster movie where they have all the American gangsters together. I think except for Snatch and maybe one other movie, they haven't had the British and American gangsters all together. And they really should before they all pass away.
Yeah.
But Netflix is going to do a movie with all the major American actors that have always been in gangster movies.
Like Ray, like
Al Pacino, Joe Pesci, Robert De Niro, all the American guys, because they're getting to be almost 80, and a lot of film companies don't want to film, and they don't. It's an insurance problem. They don't want to film violent scenes and many scenes with people that are clearly, past middle age. No offense to the actors, but it's just that it's hard to, insurance is a problem when you have to film. So.
Yep, let's go to Lee. Let's see what Lee's scores on the door is.
I can't see anything wrong with this movie, to be honest. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it back then. I enjoyed rewatching it this week, from beginning to end. So, and also as well, I mentioned to Ali before we did the cast that the guys behind this are the two doormen in the movie.
Yeah.
They're behind on this, so they know what they're doing. Yeah,
they were the directors.
Your director.
No, they were, Susan. We're not joking. They were. They really were. We're not joking.
I know you're not joking. I think it's very funny, though, that they put themselves in. It's very meta.
Oh, they always they're in the TV series and everything.
There's a TV series?
No, TV series, what they did before the movie, Operation Good Guys. Did I mention that?
No.
Oh,
Dominic Anciano and Ray Burtis.
Yeah, Operation Good Guys.
The bill.
Lasted 3 series. It's like a mockumentary of police department.
Never heard of that. When was that?
1997 to 2000.
Oh wow!
No, never heard of that.
Check it out.
Pretty good.
And Jude Law and Johnny Lee Miller and Sean Petch, we make guest appearances in episodes. So, you said we get all these same actors involved in it. All ad-lib. All ad-lib.
Now, isn't it true that this is part of a series, that there was another movie before this one with the same characters?
Yeah, there was a movie before this, not same characters, same names,
Oh, same names.
Yeah, they just use their own names. It was called Final Cut.
Oh yeah, I think I've heard of that one.
Yeah.
Is that a kinky one?
It's similar. It's similar, but similar.
Yeah, it is sort of.
Yeah, you've got Jude Law, you've got Sadie Frost, and all the other people in it. This one. Do you want my score?
Susan and Alex, do we want his score?
Yeah.
No.
No, like I said, I'll
Exactly. So Alex has said no.
I'll give it an 8. Like I said.
No.
No, not your score, Alex. We've had your score. You're taking Lee's score now.
Oh no, go ahead, Lou.
And there's a quote in this movie by Rhys Evans says, "You can't steal a warehouse. It's big, it's heavy, it's stuck to the ground." So,
Good observation.
Yeah, I'm going to give it 10 toilet brushes out of 10.
Oh.
Fat Larry's arse.
Alan's ass.
Yeah, fat Alan's arse, yes.
Oh!
Over to me then. Right. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to score this film, actually. I'm not going to give it 10 because it's not like the greatest thing ever. I did think the direction could have been better. That might be nitpicky, but the reason why the direction could have been a bit strange is because it was ad-libbed. So, yeah, so it's difficult, yeah, because I thought the direction wasn't very good, but then it was ad-libbed, so the camera wasn't pre-planned, was it? It wasn't like they knew where the actors were going to be or what they were going to say or who was going to speak. It was just off the cuff. So, do you know what? I'm going to go with Alex. I'm going to give it an 8. I enjoyed it. It's got Kathy Birkin, who I absolutely think is fantastic, and she really doesn't do enough on television.
She didn't do enough and Absolutely Fabulous. She was only in like 8 or 9 episodes out of the whole run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She needs to come back to television.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. We got it. I'd like to thank everybody here for joining me. I'd like to thank you for watching. Hit that subscribe button for more videos like this. And I do apologize about Alex's behavior earlier. Yes, so we will see you next time.